Hi Leo, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here doing your October 2016 monthly tarot reading. Thanks for joining me. I'll warn you, these readings are getting weirder and weirder. Not the readings like your cards, but me. It's October 2nd, I'm trying to get these out and I'm getting to the end and I don't know. I've been talking about Austin Powers a lot. I don't know why. So this may be a weird video. Just warning you. Full disclosure. I love this card. Let's get these cards out and we'll get started. Fall is here in Vermont and I'm very happy about it. I love fall. That card's been coming up in that position. Whoops. Okay. Oh, this card just came out too. The Seven of Swords. So I don't usually read the Seven of Swords this way, but in this deck I do because I feel like this guy clearly has writer's block. He's having trouble mentally translating things from his brain and being able to articulate it or getting it down on paper in a way that expresses what he's trying to express in a clear, concise manner. So when this card comes up, I suggest, putting your pen down, and if you're really struggling with something, taking a break from it, putting the pen down, going for a walk, focusing on something else, and just leaving it be, because trying to force um, it usually just causes more stress and isn't an environment that's conducive to creativity or clarity. Things get more muddled and more mixed up, and the stress isn't a good motivator for most people. So if you are struggling with something, just sort of put it on the back burner, let it simmer, focus on something else. It'll be there when you're able to tackle it in a better frame of mind. We also have the Five of Swords, so there's definitely an underlying, you have really beautiful cards, but there is some underlying stress that you're carrying into October. This card is very interesting in this deck because if you look, there is a line in the sand, but they're both on the same side of the line. So it's reminding me of this band I love called Nako and Medicine for the People, and they have a new album out this year, and one of the songs has the line, "I am on your side, I'm not drawing a line." And it reminded me of this tarot card when I heard it. So conflict with other people is so difficult, and I struggle with it, and I don't have any magical advice because I am not successful with it myself in many occasions. But sometimes looking at the end goal, do you both have the same sort of end goal? Perhaps it's just you both have different, like say it's a destination, you're going to Florida. She wants to take the interstate all the way down and he wants to take the scenic route down the coast. You both want to get to Florida. You just have different ways of going about it. You're both on the same page. You're both on the same side of the line. You're both want the same things. You just have different way of going about it. So this is a card of compromising and trying to figure out how you can come together when you have opposing ideas of how to get there. But just recognizing that you're both on the same side and want the same end goal usually helps dissipate some of the tension going on, if you can look at it that way. Like, you know what, we're on the same side. We do want the same things. How can we work together because we have the same end goal? Now, that said, you have some really nice cards here. So if you've been in a situation at work where maybe you have a trying coworker, maybe that's what some of that conflict is, that you've just been dealing with for a really long time, this is a card of patience. This is a card of there being a process. I know I worked with this one lady who was abusive. I don't know how else to say it. She just had, I guess, mental health issues because she just was very unstable and you couldn't please her, and she would yell. I mean, she would like yell at people. It was kind of just not at all appropriate. However, she did do a good job. She was just absolutely horrible to deal with. Certain people, and she was nice to some people, but not. So it was not a fun situation. I had to work with her for quite some time, and I ended up moving. And someone else started working for her, and they're like, well, she'll be able to deal with it better because she has a thick skin, which really sort of bothered me because this wasn't about my thick skin. This lady was absolutely unacceptable and inappropriate. Well, that lady with the thick skin ended up leaving because she couldn't stand the person either. But it was like, oh my God, how many good employees do you have to go through before you deal with a problem, which is this lady who is so inappropriate in the workplace? I found out just in the last year or two that she got fired. Finally. Um, it, I mean, that's just what came to my head. So there may be a situation in the work, I'm saying that because the justice card is out. There may be a situation in the workplace where there's been a long run of injustice. And I feel with this card coming up, being patient, not getting sucked in. And this card is also about people behaving badly and not getting sucked into their bad behavior, that you've been able to maintain things, deal with the conflict in a healthy way. You've just been patient and biding your time. And something is going to happen in the workplace where if someone has been behaving badly, they may leave. You may get recognized. You're going to feel like things have been righted and that like there is justice in the world. There is they finally dealt with the elephant in the room. That's kind of what's coming through. So that'll be nice. And no, you don't want people, even people you don't like, you don't want anyone to get fired. You don't want anything, but everyone's responsible for their own behavior. And if someone just has not been pulling their weight or has been nasty and inappropriate and difficult to deal with or obstructive or whatever, they're responsible for their behavior too. But you will feel that there is things are right with the world. I don't have to constantly deal with situations that that are inappropriate and they shouldn't have to deal with. In the home life, this just came up for another sign, and I'll tell you the ridiculous thing I told them. This reminds me of, I have a friend that has 5 boys and another friend that has 3 boys, and just kids in general. Doesn't have to do with boys, but I'm looking at the physical aspect, and these are all boys, but just siblings. And trust me, I was the daughter. I had 2 older brothers, and I was out there fighting and punching and just as much as they were trying to keep up with the big boys. But I sort of see this for some of you, the kids are just going to be fighting. And it's you're just going to be over here, be the chicken, whatever, guys, if you want to waste your time with that, I'm just gonna be over here doing my own thing. I'm not engaging. I'm not getting involved. You guys will just have to work it out. Or, if they're constantly fighting over the Xbox, maybe the Xbox disappears and they're going to be all pissed and you're just going to be like, "Oh, this is great. Go outside. Like now I have peace and quiet." So I feel like some sort of silly situation, actually more than anything negative, is going to happen. I think for some of you it's going to be a son. This is often a child card. I know it's sun, S-U-N, but it can be a son. So some little annoyances in the house. Maybe your roommate's pissing you off. Maybe they never pick up after themselves. Maybe, whatever. But it's like, just be the chicken. Like, I'm just going to not engage. I don't have to engage. And I don't have to let sort of those minor disturbances. I don't need to pick up a wand and get involved in that situation. And it's going to be sort of an aha moment for you. So maybe traditionally we have these sort of conflict cards over here on the bottom of the deck. It's like, I'm just not engaging. And it's like an aha moment. I'm going to tell another story about myself. I always get, people don't like to hear it, but it's my YouTube channel. So I can only tell my own experiences because the only experiences I have. But my ex-husband would just get in a mood and would call me and just be like so mean to me. And I would sit there trying to like rationalize with him, and it would seem to come out of the blue. Like something would just get stuck in his craw, and since we, were close, he would call me and things started to get bad. I'm not going to get into that, but he was calling me and just doing this a lot, and I would get really upset about it. And my father was like, "Jen, hang up the phone. Stop. You don't have to talk to him. You don't have to listen to him. Hang up." And I was like, "Oh," it was like, duh. Just like, you don't have to engage in these people. You don't have to. And it's going to be so freeing. And I was just like, the next time he called, it's like, "Don't call me if you can't be civil to me. I will hang up." And he started in and I hung up. And it was, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. It was I'm just going to be the chicken over here doing my own thing. And if you want to be all cray cray and riled up for whatever reason, that's your choice. But I'm not engaging. So some sort of aha moment in your home life about how you've historically dealt with conflict is going to be very freeing. You're just going to have, and it's going to be something probably simple, but you're really going to see things in a different light and feel lighter because of it, because you're going to release yourself from being involved in situations that you don't really have to be involved in. Down here in the relationship category, some of you, so this is obviously not going to apply to most of you, but when I get the Nine of Pentacles, this is usually a single lady that manages her own property and is very confident and happy and secure, and she's just very capable of managing her own life. So we have the single person and the King of Swords. So some of you may be getting a divorce, or you may have already been divorced and are now sort of living on your own, and you're loving it. It's like you're really settling into this new life, and you're away from conflict. You're just feeling really good about things. You're just like, I can do this. I'm okay on my own. This is okay, and it's to be a man or a woman. So you're really, and if you're in a relationship, you're realizing you can stand on your own and be your own person even within a relationship. You don't have to take on everything that your partner is dealing with, and you can have your own thing separate from them as well, and it doesn't mean you're any less together as a couple. It's like you're feeling out your individuality and growing as an individual even though you're in a relationship. That's so cool. I love also that she has a secret. So you're gonna like find this aha moment. You're gonna find some sort of secret wisdom to. It's not necessarily a secret, but it's like it had been hidden from you, and it's just like that. That you know what? I can just hang up the phone. I don't have to engage. I don't have to be a part of this. Some little nugget like that is going to occur to you, and it's going to be like a whole new life. Like, how did I not see this incredibly obvious thing until now? And it's just going to be very freeing. And that's like one of those things. It's almost like you, even though maybe you've heard it a million times, until you've sort of experienced it, you can't own it. You can't really get it. It was something you sort of had to, I'm not going to say learn the hard way, but you had to sort of experience it for yourself to really own and learn the lesson and really get it. And the King of Swords, I mean, this is an air sign or someone with that type of energy, very thoughtful and analytical, a good communicator, someone that's really interesting to talk to and banter with and strategize and think about things with. He would be really interesting. You know, he'd play. You know, he'd be a master chess player and like to really bend his mind and push his mind and think about things. And so you may have a partner. You and your partner may be throwing around ideas. You may have ideas for something together to do, whether it's like planning a trip or thinking about like a business or where you want to live or just really having some really good conversations. Things may be revealed, secrets may be revealed, but I don't see them as being bad necessarily. Just like the communication from this Five of Swords and Seven of Swords is really this new way of dealing with conflict of this sort of aha moment you have is really sort of opened up a new level of experience in your world and how you move forward and having confidence and being able to deal with things effectively and instead of dealing with things with how you have habitually dealt with them. All right, let's pull a. You're one of the lucky signs getting one of these. Oh, that came out. I forgot to do it with some of the other signs. So it says ask. Ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. Hey, that sounds pretty good. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Yeah, I see that with the Nine of Pentacles. Like, you're coming into your own. Your opinions are valid. It's like you're taking a stand, but you're doing it in a way that's very sort of peaceful. It's just like, this is where I'm coming from, and you're not getting sucked into debating about it, fighting about it. Like, you will have a nice, rational, interesting conversation about it, but you will not have this type of situation about it. The communication has to be respectful and constructive moving forward from here. That's how it's going to be. So I'm really drawn to the that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. You're being your own person in the world. You're valuing your own opinion, your own wants, needs, and desires. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.